before we break. You said you spent time with the Vikings.
Yes.
You got to see your old friend Sam Darnold. Tell me what you learned from the Vikings.
What's going on, Vikings fans? I'm not sure if you missed it, but in case you did, I bring you this section of an interview that Rich Eisen had just before the Vikings vs. Jets game. It gave me a lot of hope for this year, and it also confirmed a lot of my speculations. Without further ado, take it away, Rich.
Well, here's what I learned. I want to tell this story here because I think it's indicative of a lot. And I will say, just as the headline, that the Vikings are for real. This isn't a fluke. This is actually the product of a terrific coaching staff in place, of a terrific front office that has placed very high IQ players in the hands of a very high IQ coach who can have a very intricate system. And it's on both sides of the ball as well, I might add. Very intricate systems that they are very good at simplifying for their players with multiple options based on looks that they see in front of them. And that because it's simplified in such a way, it allows these players to play faster and freer. That's the headline. I got that out of meeting with Kevin O'Connell today and Sam Darnold, John Grenard, and we also met with Justin Jefferson. And my favorite story that kind of illustrates all of this is I asked Kevin O'Connell for his favorite Justin Jefferson story. And he said that when he was introduced as the new HC of Minnesota a few years ago, coming from the staff of the Rams after they had just won the Super Bowl, he finishes his introductory press conference. He steps off the podium and he steps into a hallway where he's greeted by a member of the Vikings staff holding a phone, and on it is somebody who FaceTimed in, and it was Justin Jefferson. He said Justin Jefferson's first question of him when he became new head coach was, why is Cooper Kupp wide open so often? That's what he asked him. And he goes, well, the reason why is because he plays the Z, he plays the X, he plays the Y. We put him all over the field. And so he knows every route from every position in our playbook. And so we're able to scheme him in that manner. To which Kevin O'Connell said, Justin Jefferson replied, that sounds hard. And the coach said, yeah, it is. You're going to have to learn every single position on the field. And he was saying this to somebody who was Justin Jefferson later on when I asked him his point of view from the story, pointed out, coming from the Mike Zimmer defensive-minded head coach, that it was run first, pass second, and they were running from, one would say offensive sets that were based around that concept. So he really only played the Z receiver, the outside receiver. He wasn't moved around a lot, which is maybe why he said, that sounds hard, and why Kevin O'Connell said, yeah, it's going to be tough. Do you want to do it? And his answer was yes. And who Justin Jefferson is right now is a guy who knows every single position on the field and the playbook from it. And because of that, every single time Jefferson is placed in something other than his, I guess, typical position outside, the slot receiver, somewhere else on the field, whoever he's replacing now goes to where he was, and that player now needs to know the formation and needs to know the route from that position. So Jefferson asking about, I want to be as great as Cooper Kupp. He had 1,900 yards. He had a Triple Crown season. And he's always open. Why is that? Because he accepted that challenge. Now everybody else in the receiver room has to accept that challenge, and everybody does what Jefferson is doing in the playbook. And O'Connell calls the game from that manner, but also simplifies it enough for everybody to kind of understand and take it all in and change the plays up significantly from week to week, depending on the opponent. And Sam Darnold has come in and is fit in hand and glove in this situation as somebody who, as he did say to us at the end of his tenure in Carolina with Ben McAdoo, as well as what he learned in San Francisco, he was able to slow the game down, observe it, and basically say, I'm more about the process now instead of the result. He was kind of done being the third overall pick that was now a journeyman. He was just focusing on the process not about the results of his career. And that's what I learned is you've got a defensive coach who's doing the same thing as O'Connell by having an intricate system able to boil it down well enough for players who are high IQ enough to go out and execute it. That's why this team is 4-0, not just because of some magic that's happening. It really is part of a plan, and it's awesome to watch in person.